Today I'm going to be talking about the biggest relationship killer, and it's not cheating. I came across an article recently and that really spoke to me. James Bryan revealed that the primary reason that most relationships end, it wasn't typically what we expect. It's not cheating or falling out of love. It's the communication breakdown. Think about that for a second. How many times you've been in a relationship when things just stop flowing? You're arguing all the time for no reason. You want to step out. And on the other side, you suddenly feel like you actually speaking different languages. And this is what he said. Every relationship, it's unique. But this breakdown of communication is usually the heart of why couples drift apart. Reflecting in my past relationships, I can absolutely see how the communication and communicating was the lack of the problem that we had. It played a huge role in it. And there were times in my earlier relationships that I couldn't express myself out of fear or thinking that there were going to be conflicts and my words were being twisted. And other times when I assumed that my partner knew what I was thinking, or I expected them to actually read between the lines. But that really doesn't work. You end up feeling misunderstood, and sometimes the understanding starts better when we know how to express ourselves very clearly. I've spoken to a number of women that I'm actually coaching at the moment, and they've given me this cycle of hoping that things will actually get better just by itself. But talking about these issues make me see that things get bottled up, and that the feelings that they're avoiding to talk because they create conflict are really the ones they need to speak about, because this is the way to reconnect and resolve the things that, I will tell you something, I know the silence and communicating badly are creating the biggest problem. This is why the wars start. And sometimes we build up a wall that ends up being very difficult to climb. If you've been there or you're there right now, I'm going to try and give you a few pointers that will help you to become a better communicator. And if you really want to save this relationship because it's worth it and avoid all the stress, let's just try and go through them very slowly, and then maybe this will help you as much as they help me. Number 1, listen to understand and not to respond. When your partner is actually speaking, how often you're thinking what you're going to say right after? But let's go back to the real root of how communication works, because you really need to hear the other person and not just waiting and return on what to say next time that you have that moment to do so. Take a breath and let them finish, and then respond to what they're saying. Listen. This is a hard one when you're in the middle of an argument or a disagreement. We all know this, but let's try. Number 2, be super open. No one can read your mind, and in between the lines, as we said, you might think that your partner knows you and they will know you good enough to actually understand what's bothering you. But don't leave it to just as a chance. If something is in your mind, just say it honestly. It doesn't have to be harsh. It can be vulnerable and very kind. Number 3, choose the time wisely in what you're going to discuss this deep discussion and the communication that you need to use. Paying attention to your emotional state, because sometimes bringing up a topic can actually stress you out, and if you're tired, can lead more harm to good. Number 4, use the I statements instead of pointing the you accusations. This is probably one of my favorite ones, and I will always tell you